Hey, sixth grade. So today we're going to get you ready for your test by taking a practice test. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you a problem exactly like every problem on your test. So what I want you to do is to watch and do the problem with me, and then pause the video and do that same problem on the test while it's fresh in your mind. And then unpause the video, watch me do another one, and then pause it and do that same one on your test, and so on, okay, in your practice test. And it's going to make it go really well today. So really important on our test today, they're going to keep flip-flopping between these two things. Remember, the surface area is the area of all the sides put together. All right, you add them up, okay, at the end. Whereas the volume is how much something holds, or how much space something takes up. Be careful. We flip-flop between those two all throughout the chapter and now on the test too. So watch out what they're asking you for each time. Make sure you're keeping those straight. And I'll remind you how to find those two things, but watch out. On each question, are they asking you about the surface area or the volume? Be careful. Okay, this is exactly like number one. I want you to do this one with me and then pause the video and do it for yourself. Okay, it's on the practice test. It says there's a rectangular inflatable pool. So I'm going to draw this. Here's my rectangular inflatable pool. It's 2 1/4 yards long, okay? It's 3 yards wide, all right? And it's 1/4 of a yard tall, okay? What's the volume of the swimming pool? Careful what they ask you for each time. Remember, the volume of a rectangular prism is the length times the width times the height. You might want to jot that down next to your number one on your practice test today, okay? So let's do that. Let's do the length times the width times the height. So volume equals 2 1/4 times 3 times 1/4, right? So how do I take a mixed number times a whole number like that? I got to do bottom times the side plus the top, right? I got to make that first one improper and put the second one over 1. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 more is 9 over 4 times 3 over 1. Don't flip or anything. We're not dividing, right? We're just doing top times top, bottom times bottom. 27 over 4. Now I'm not going to fix that yet because I still have to multiply it now times 1/4. So let's take that times 1/4. Fortunately, there's not nice pairs or anything. We just have to do top times top, 27. Bottom times bottom, 16. Now I should fix it at the very end, right? Because I don't want to leave a final answer like that. So I just divide the top by the bottom. 16 goes into 27 once. Okay, and I can write my remainder like that. So my final answer is 1 11/16. Now it's surface, or it's volume, excuse me, so it's yards cubed. Okay. Now on your test, I believe they're going to round to like the nearest tenth or something. So look for the answer that's really close to yours. Since we didn't round, we just multiplied the fractions times each other. Okay, go ahead and pause and do number one. Go ahead and pause and do number one while that's fresh in your mind. Okay, this one's very much like number two. They want you to find the surface area. Remember, that means to find the area of all the sides. Notice they unfolded it for you. Okay, they took a 3D shape and they unfolded it. So you're going to find the area of all those pieces and then add them together. So let's do the first piece first. Here we go. This piece right here is 6 times 3, right? Base times height, 18, right? And look, this piece right here is also going to be the same because it's got a base of 3, right? And a height of 6, just like that other one, okay? All right, let's do this little piece right here. We'll do it in blue. This middle little piece, which is going to be the same as this little piece right here, right? Okay, it's got a base of 2 and a height of 6, so 12 and 12, right? Now let's do these two little pieces, these little flaps. Okay, notice they've got a height of 2 and a base of 3, so 6 and 6. So all we have to do now is add them all up, right? That's the surface area. So we've got 2 18s, we've got 2 12s, and we've got 2 6s. So if we add those up, 8 and 8 gives us 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, right? Carry the 3. We've got 4, 5, 6, 7. And there we are. So pause right now and do number 2 while that's fresh in your mind of how to solve that. Number 3 and number 9 today, careful, they want you to find the volume of a triangular prism. The volume is the area of one triangle base, just one, times the height. Okay, so just one triangle base. Careful, this isn't the surface area where we're going to count them both. So let's find the area of this triangle base right here. Okay, and we're going to take that times the height. Remember, it's a triangle. Don't forget to divide by 2. Okay, this is not one where we're going to count both the triangle bases because it's not the surface area. We're just going to find the volume of that triangle base and take it times the height. You'll do that for number 3 and 9. So to find the volume of a triangle, we take the base times the height divided by 2. So 2 times 3 1/3 divided by 2. All right, so I've got to take a whole number, so I'm going to put it over 1 times a mixed number, so I'm going to make it improper. Bottom times the side plus the top. That gives me 10 over 3. Okay, no nice pairs or anything. I just get 20 over 3. Okay, but it's a triangle, so I need to divide that by 2, right? So let's do 20 over 3 divided by 2. Now remember, when you're dividing, you put that second number over 1 and you flip, right? So we're going to do 20 over 3 times 2 over, or times 1 over 2. There we go. Okay, I flipped it because we're dividing, right? So this is going to get us the area of that triangle base. Notice we've got some nice pairs now. Let's do that. Or one nice pair at least. We'll divide them both by 2. So I get 10 over 3. Okay? And so now that we've got the area of our triangle, we'll fix it at the end, right? Now we're going to take it times the height, right? We find the area of our triangle, and we take it times the height. So we're going to take that times 5 2/3. Now I need to make this one improper too, so I can multiply it. So let's do that. Bottom times the side, 15, plus the top, 17 over 3. And we're going to multiply those together, okay? No nice pairs or anything. Not going to flip or anything. We're just multiplying this time. I get 170 over 9. So I can't leave it that way. That's my final answer, so let's divide. 9 goes into 17 once, leaves us with 8. Bring down our 0. 9 goes into 8, 8 times, okay? And then we write our remainder as a fraction. So 18 8/9 inches cubed, because it's volume. Okay. Now in your book, on your test, they may round to the nearest tenth, or they may round to the nearest whole number. Look for the answer that's closest to your answer. So for number 3 and number 9, all you're going to do is find the area of the triangle, just one of the triangles. Don't forget to divide by 2, and then take it times the height. This part, the side of the rectangle part. Okay. Do number 3 and number 9 while that's fresh in your mind. For number 4 and number 7, they want you to find the volume of a rectangular prism. Remember, the volume of a rectangular prism is the length times the width times the height. That's it. That's all you have to do. So let's do that. Length times width times height. So volume equals 6 times 4 times 5, right? 6 times 4, I think most of you know, is 24. And then 24 times 5, 5 times 4 is 20. 5 times 2 is 10, 11, 12. As simple as that. And it's volume, so we have a little number 3. Do number 4 and number 7 while that's fresh in your mind. Number 5 says a storage container has a length of 3 feet, a width of 8 feet, and a height of 7 feet. What's the surface area of the container? So I'm reminding you of that surface area formula that we used. Okay, you certainly could draw this rectangular prism and then find the area of all the sides and make a list, or you could use this formula we learned earlier this chapter. Remember this one? The surface area equals 2 times the length, well, the length was 3 feet, right, times the height, 7 feet, plus 2 times the length, 3 feet, times the width, 8 feet, plus 2 times the height, 7 feet, plus the width, 8 feet. Okay, and then we found the area of all those, we found the answer of all those chunks, and then add them together, right? 2 times 3 gives us 6. 6 times 7 is 42. So this whole chunk is 42. Plus 2 times 3 is 6. Times 8 is 48. That whole chunk is 48. Plus 2 times 7 is 14. And 14 times 8 times 4 is 32. 8, 9, 10, 11 is 112. So then we just add those all together. Careful how you line up your numbers, right? Get your hundreds, tens, and ones over each other. 8 plus 2 is 10, plus 2 is 12. 2 plus 4 is 6, plus 4 more is 10, and there we go. 202. Now this is feet squared because it was surface area, right? You're going to do number 5 exactly like that. Pause right here and do number 5 right now. Okay, here's one that's very much like number 6 and number 11. Notice they want the surface area again, the area of all the sides added together of this triangular prism. So we're going to make a list. We've got the 2 triangles, right? The front and the back triangle, which we'll put together. We won't divide by 2. We'll just put it together, okay? We've got the left and right sides of our tent, right? Those rectangle pieces, and we've got a bottom piece. Remember how we did these? So let's find the area of the front and back triangles. Notice the height of this triangle is 6. They told us that over here, so you could draw a dotted line in there if you wanted. So the front and back triangles, we'd do 6 times 4, right? 24. Now normally we divide by 2, right? Because you divide triangles by 2. But notice we have 2 triangles that are the same. So it doesn't make sense to divide by 2. Let's just let that answer stand for both of our triangles. So there's 24. All right, let's get the left side and the right side. So the left and the right side are these big rectangles, right? Just like I'm outlining here. Notice we have a base of 12. And in our height, this piece is 7. Do you see that? The slanted side. So 12 times 7. 7 times 2 is 14. 7 times 1 is 7, plus 1 more is 8. So the left and right side are the same. They're both 84, okay? Now that bottom piece, this bottom big rectangle down here. Do you see how it has a base of 12 and a height of 4? 12 times 4, I think some of you probably know by heart, is 48. There we go. We add those together. 4 plus 4 plus 4 is 12, plus 8 more is 20, carry the 2. 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 8 is 12, plus 8 is 20, plus 4 more is 24. And there we are. So do numbers 6 and numbers 11 right now while it's fresh in your mind. Take a peek at number 8. Number 8 says a store wraps gifts for its customers. What's the amount of paper it would take to wrap a gift box? So here's our gift box. If it helps to draw pictures, I like pictures. Here's my gift box. With a width of 10 inches, a height of 3 inches, and a length of 12 inches. So pretend this is a box that somebody wants to wrap, right? If we're talking about putting wrapping paper around the outsides, are we talking about how much the box holds or how much the area of all the outside shapes are? Hopefully you're saying how much the area of all the outside shapes are. In other words, the surface area is what this problem is. Number 8, I hope you recognize, is a surface area problem. We need to cover all the outside shapes with wrapping paper, right? And so remember the surface area formula? Here it is. It is 2 times the length times the height plus 2 times the length times the width plus 2 times the height times the width. So let's fill in our pieces then, knowing that. Okay, so surface area equals 2 times 12, right, times the height, 3, plus 2 times the length, 12, plus the width, 10, plus 2 times the height, 3, plus the width, 10. And remember, we're going to multiply all these chunks, so let's do that. 2 times 12 is 24. 24 times 3, 3 times 4 is 12, 3 times 2 is 6, 7. So this whole chunk is 72. Plus 2 times 12 is 24. Well, anything times 10 just adds a 0, so plus 2, 40. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 10 is 60. So we just have to add those up. Careful how you line up your numbers. Get your 1s and 10s column underneath each other. So it gives us 2, 17, and 3. 372 inches squared of wrapping paper it's going to take. Okay, that's how you'll do number 8. Okay, set up your formula just like this. There it is. Write that down next to number 8. Fill in all your pieces, add up each of your chunks, and you'll get your answer. Okay, take a peek at number 10. Number 10 says there's a paperweight. It's like a heavy thing you put on your papers so they don't blow away, right? Is in the shape of a pyramid and has a side length of 2.3 inches. The slant height is 3.5 inches. What's the surface area of the paperweight? So they're saying you've got this pyramid. It's got a rectangle bottom. Okay. The book does say it's a square pyramid, so we got a square on the bottom. The easy way to draw a pyramid is to put a dot and then just connect that dot to each of the corners of your square. So here's our pyramid. Sorry, it's not the most pretty pyramid in the world, but you get the idea. And it says it has a side length of 2.3 inches. So that's one of the bottom sides like that. And notice it says the slant height is 3.5 inches. Slant height is down the middle of the triangle, okay? So they want us to find the surface area. Remember what that means? We're adding up all the sides. So this shape has 4 triangles around the outside, right, and 1 square on the bottom. So let's find how much each of those are. Ready? The triangle is going to be the base, right, times the height of this triangle. So 3.5 times 2.3. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 more is 10. Extra 0. 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. So I get 508. Now notice I should have 2 decimal places, right? Because this one had 1 and this one had 1. So 8.05. Now remember, it's a triangle, So we have to divide that by 2, right? Don't forget to do that. Okay, 4 times 2 is 8. Bring down our 0, doesn't fit in at all. Bring down our 5, fits in 2 times. Fits in 5 times. So there we go. So that's one of our triangles, but remember there are 4 of them, right? So we're going to take that times 4, 4.025 times 4. 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times 2 is 8, 9, 10. 4 times 0 is 0 plus 1. 4 times 4 is 16 with 3 decimal places. Okay, so I get 16.1 for our 4 triangles. Now we just have to find the area of the 1 square on the bottom. Now remember, it's a square, so all these sides are 2.3. So we're just going to do 2.3 times 2.3. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 2 is 6. Extra 0. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 2 is 4. So we get 9, 12, and 5 with 2 decimal places. 5.24. Now careful. Some of you divided that by 2 on your assignment. Never divide a rectangle or square by 2. Only triangles, okay? So now we add up our 4 triangles to our 1 rectangle or 1 square, and we get 4, 3. Drop your decimal place. Don't forget to line up your decimal places when you add together, too. I saw that mistake a couple times on yesterday's assignment. 6 plus 5 is 11. 1 plus 1 is 2. And there we go. So there's our surface area of our our pyramid. Do number 10 while that's fresh in your mind. All right, this one is just like number 12 today. It says find the surface area of the pyramid. So one more pyramid, okay? I know we just did one like this, but it doesn't hurt to talk through one more. Remember the surface area of a pyramid. We've got our 4 triangles, right? And we've got our 1 square that we're going to add up at the end. Here's our triangles, right? 10 times 8, base times height would be 80, but it's a triangle, so we have to divide it by 2. Right, and so that gives us 40. But there's 4 of them, right? So we take 40 times 4. 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 4 is 16. So the area of the 4 triangles is 160. Now the area of that rectangle or square bottom, okay, is 8 times 8. In other words, 64. Careful how you line up your numbers. Put your 1's place under your 1's place and your 10's place under your 10's place, right? 4 plus 0 is 4. 6 plus 6 is 12. 1 plus 1 is 2. And there we go. So you'll do number 12 very much like that. All right, hopefully that gets you off to a good start. If you still get stuck on some, don't be afraid to reach out. I can talk you through some on Zoom. But I think if you watch each problem and then do your problem right after it, that should help you have it fresh in your mind how to solve each of these. Reach out for help if you need it. Have a good day, guys.